machine vision that reads the envelopes, checks a signature, and compares it to about 3 or 4 signatures that they have in the database, people's signatures. And if something unfortunately, well, for me to say that the DMV has over 100 people, non-citizens, in ballots, and over 1,000 people not living where the ballots go, I think that's self-evident that that's an issue. For either party, if you go to a drugstore and you expect to get a given drug that the prescription says to you want it to be validated. So my background as an engineer is trust but verify. And we're not. The Secretary of State has chosen not to do that. Does that kind of make sense, or is that confusing?
No, it makes sense. I just haven't maybe experienced that since happening, or maybe experienced different. I want to make another question.
Yeah. Well,
I don't, if it's not broken, that's it just seems like the system is smooth. I think every system's going to have some issues. Germany's won their citizens, not the country. And so they don't have
Yeah, I visited Western Germany on high school student exchange, and then traveled to what was formerly Eastern Germany. It was a partnership with a major there. And I went to Berlin, and I actually touched some of the Berlin Wall that was torn down. And I tell you, growing up in the military family, I never thought I would see the day and that it did. And Western Germany, financially, it was tough for them to join Eastern Germany, but those people deserve to have the freedom that Stalin and Khrushchev and others had stolen away from them. I actually visited the church where my great-great-grandparents were married. It was Prussia at that time. Was quite some history. And I think the more you travel, the more you see how people have the same needs, have the same wants and desires for their kids, put on their socks and underwear the same way. But culturally, what makes a country transportation in Germany, all their trains run on time.
I just read something about Germany kind of leading the way for. Have you ever heard of solar pods?
I can only envision this solar cell on top of a stagecoach home. I was just at the bank today, and this guy had a small car, had solar cells kind of wrapped, flexible solar cells on the top, and had insulation in the back of his car. And if I was a betting man, that little car was his little home.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I just got your text. I had to literally just walk out to like send you my text, but you were saying do they have enough people from
like just for the show, like
yeah, I think
okay.
so. He hasn't said like, oh, we need more video, like we have the like he was live streaming when the protesters were out.
Okay.
Worst case scenario, they just pan back to me.
Yeah.
There's no issue.
So if it can't go live, then
it should be able to. It's literally like when I walk, like I don't have service right now. Like if I try to text you, it's gonna take forever. But as soon as I walk out, it opens up. So
yeah, in here we can't stream in here.
Yeah, so hopefully when we set up for the live shot outside with the cam.
Yeah, that'll be fine. But yeah, I'm gonna have to be stuck here. Yeah, so you'll be by yourself, but with my camera. But yeah.
That's fine. So I don't want to set up now. I'm gonna sit in here. So like, I'm gonna take it off the tripod and stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
But where did you think that I should set up? Did you think I should set up here or sorry?
I think the first one's better.
Okay.
And do you know when this ends?
So you're just gonna be here holding a human tripod for like ever.
Yeah.
But maybe an hour. Because I think the oil was like only an hour. Like if we're getting rowdy, we're probably gonna get rowdy.
Yeah.
So it probably shouldn't last that long.
Yeah. Okay.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
They use it and then somebody comes in and uses it the next night. I live in the state of Lee.
one-night transit. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of churches and some public lands that have the small dwellings in the Eugene area. And I would presume that somebody is accountable for that, for safety, keep drugs out, and prostitution out. But yeah, they're still hooked up to the grid. Electricity. I mean, most our electricity is relatively cheap with hydroelectric. But if you go further south, you can see the solar cells being unfortunately, I think and I don't know the exact numbers, almost a high percentage are drug addicted or have mental issues, and kind of close to some of the mental hospitals in the United States. Drug addicted people really don't want to go. Handcuff somebody, write them out, and then release them. And if they haven't made a personal decision and get better, it's human nature to kind of return back to escape. Most individuals have to wonder what cause for service and so all humans deserve respect, safety, and dignity. And being a veteran, I also am favorable to veterans to have as much help if they have PTSD or have some handicaps that prevent them from living life to the end. Are we getting close? Oh, we're after 4 or 6.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hello. Thank you for saying hello. Thank you so much. Thank you all for being here. I have the great privilege of being Eugene's mayor. My name is Karen Knudsen. This is a responsibility. Thank you. This is a responsibility that I have been carrying since just the beginning of this year, January of 2025. And it is absolutely my honor to welcome you today, and also to thank you for joining us at what is Senator Wyden's over 1,135 but to welcome you to the annual Town Hall here in Lane County. Before we begin the Town Hall, please stand if you are able and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Before we begin today, I would like to acknowledge the elected officials who are here with us in the room. If you are an elected official here with us today, and I see some right down here in front, please stand and wave so that we can acknowledge your service and your presence here. Thank you for your service. Thank you, Senator James Mayer. Decades of service among them. I'm pleased to be for holding these town halls in every county every year. That is accessible government, and it is incredibly important now more than ever that we have an opportunity to talk with one another and be able to work on this future that we are building together. I want to share with you a handful of ground rules for today and also the process that we will have for asking questions. We have been advised for your safety and for the safety of all participants, people around you, that everyone remains seated in your seats during the town hall unless you are getting up to use the restroom or your number is being called to ask a question. If anyone refuses to stay in their seat, it would be in violation of the rules of this town hall that have been established to keep everyone safe, and we will ask people to leave. So please do, be comfortable, stay seated, and stay with us here for this important conversation. The restrooms are down in the hallway. I talked with the principal earlier, no restaurants yet at Sheldon High School inside unless you're at a sports adventure. Restrooms are down the hallway just outside the doors that you entered through, and those entrance doors are also your exit doors to use when leaving the town hall. The process for asking questions today is as follows. If you want to ask the senator a question, you need to have a ticket. You were offered those as you were coming in. If you want to ask a question and do not have a ticket, please raise your hand and staff will get one to you. And I'll wait a moment as people do that and make sure that folks can see where tickets are needed in the crowd. In the interest of time, we will also ask that everyone keep their questions brief. We want to be sure that we can get through as many questions as possible today. So I will remind you in the event that you don't get to a question within about a sentence of framing. Staff have also provided comment cards at the entrance, and that is an additional way to offer your questions or comments to the senator. I will call out a few tickets at a time, 3 generally speaking. We might vary from that a little bit if we need to, but I will read the last 3 digits of the ticket number. So just the last 3 digits of your ticket numbers are what you need to be paying attention to. If your ticket number is called, please raise your hand and stand up so that staff can find you. And then please wait for the microphone to arrive before asking your question so that everyone in the audience can hear you, that we can hear you clearly. Staff members will take your ticket and will repeat the last 3 digits of the ticket to confirm that it is in fact the number that was called. And then please state your name and ask a question into the microphone so that everyone can hear you. After the senator answers, I will pull another few tickets and announce the last 3 digits of the tickets until we run out of time. Open community gatherings like this town hall really only work and are the best experience, certainly for all of us, if everyone respects others' rights to speak. And also waits until their question is called, their ticket is called, to ask a question. I recognize that a lot of people hold very strong views, but please respect the process throughout this gathering, throughout this town hall, and please do not confront anyone that you disagree with or who may not be following the rules that are designed to keep things orderly and to keep everyone safe. We will handle that. Please, everyone, take care of yourselves and ask simple questions and hopefully have this time for some great discussion. Also, for the safety of everyone, we have been advised, please remain in your seat, just reiterating this, unless you are leaving the venue, going to use the restroom, or asking a question. And now to introduce U.S. Senator Ron Wyden. This is the Senator's 1,136th Town Hall. Pleased to host him here in Eugene for his Lane County Town Hall. This town hall is a part of the commitment that he made to Oregonians when he was elected U.S. Senator, namely to hold an annual town hall in every one of Oregon's 36 counties. When Senator Wyden is in Washington, D.C. representing all of us in the United States Senate, he is the ranking member of the Senate Finance Committee and a member of the Senate Committees on Budget, Intelligence, and Energy and Natural Resources. In Oregon, we know Senator Wyden as a senator that listens. I also want to thank the senator and take a moment to thank him personally for his work on vote by mail. We're part of the event to talk about access to the ballot is where it all begins, as well as his leadership in the enormous arena of healthcare, helping to meet our community's needs in the most fundamental of ways, and his work to expand Eugene's locally grown model of mobile crisis response to a model that is helping communities all across Oregon and across the nation. So please now join me in welcoming Senator Wyden.
How's that? Thank you all so much for coming. And I've had many of these town meetings, and this is, folks, one of the most important I've ever had. And that's because I want to listen to many of you who have strong views about the Middle East, because you have told me of your views, you've told me where you want to go. I can tell you I find what's going on in Gaza horrifying.
Then why haven't you done anything?
Right.
Why are you making Israeli propaganda?
Everyone, please.
No other Israeli prime minister has produced this much violence and cruelty towards civilians on their watch as Benjamin Netanyahu.
You did too.
So,
Baby killer.
I've drafted legislation to create penalties and sanctions for officials in the Netanyahu government and the Israeli military who get in the way of humanitarian aid. Now, this is far from everything that needs to be done. And I'd be the first to say it. But we've got to find ways to start moving quickly, and then we've got to find ways to get more done. And I'm for a two-state solution. I'm for a Palestinian state. So, today for only one particular request. I'd like to be able to hear from many of you, because this is so important now. And there are other important issues. We had mentioned of vote by mail. So that's my goal, for us to, over the next 90 minutes, for you to educate me and not to have us fight. I want you to educate me. I'm going to listen. And let's go right to the mayor and give the mayor a round of applause for that.
So our first three questions, 598, 534, and 736.
Where is 598? Oh, there we go. Is that 598? Go to it.
5736.
And right then to 736.
Thank you so much for representing us in Washington. So much confidence in you. I support and love all the people of Israel. I support the state of Israel. I also support having a Palestinian state. I am not in support of genocide, particularly happening in this country. I want it to stop. I want us to stop supporting Netanyahu's self-serving war, and I want to increase the aid and protection to Gaza. Thank you.
Oh yeah!
Ma'am, I think you've made points that I agree with, our audience agrees with it, and I will tell you, so I'm clear on this, it is long past time for Israelis to select another prime minister, since Netanyahu is a threat threat to society, he's a threat to the Jewish people, he's a threat to the American people. It is time for a new prime minister.
Stop arming Israel.
Again, I want to say to people in the audience who are telling me it doesn't go far enough, I share your view. I share your view that there's a lot more to do, and that's why we're going to try to get to one particular spot, these penalties and what's going on in Gaza, then have a new prime minister. And I think because I've been on the Intelligence Committee, I can help us find some new opportunities, and I'll give you one example. After the bombing in Iran, Benjamin Netanyahu should have said, that's it. That's it, because military superiority has been clear. Let's get everybody to the table and do something to end this conflict.
Can you kill them when they go to the table? You kill them? That's when you assassinate them? What's wrong with you? Yes, it is.
Yes, so let everybody have their turn, okay? Thank you, sir.
So, I only say that because had that been done and had Netanyahu moved then, we could have been well on our way to a lasting peace. I'm going to be looking every single day for those kinds of opportunities, not to continue the war, but to end the war.
Thank you.
736.
737. Yeah. My name is Alex Awad, and I speak with an accent because I was born in Jerusalem. I'm a Palestinian. Thank you for coming today. Thank you, Mayor, also for coming, and it's my privilege to address you. I don't know if you remember, but we met 7 years ago when you came to Eugene to meet with faith leaders. My friend Ibrahim, you probably know him very well. Yeah, we call him.
I remember the meeting. Thank you for setting it up.
Sure. Yeah. The owner of Cafe Soraya called me the day before the meeting and invited me to attend. Near the end of the meeting, I asked you, what are you going to do about the situation in Gaza? You responded with, this is not why we are here today. And you added that you believe in a two-state solution to resolve the conflict. I said, I have a letter that is addressed to you about Gaza. Will you take it and read it? You said yes, but after the meeting. When the meeting was over, it took a photo of you receiving the letter from my hand. This is the photo. That's you. And
Last time I looked, that was me.
you look very good. You still look good. All right. So, in the letter, I said that the situation in Gaza, after 11 years of total blockade, is explosive. And if you and other U.S. officials do not or do nothing about it, it will become worse. That's 7 years ago. I wish that you had opened the letter, read it, and took my advice seriously. Had you and your colleagues in the Senate done the right thing, October 7 would not have taken place. Israelis would not have been killed and taken hostage by Hamas. If you and other policymakers had listened to the voice of reason by major human rights organizations, 65,000 Palestinians that the Israelis have assassinated would be alive today.
650,000.
Yeah, it could be bigger number, but even each one of them is not a number.
Agreed.
Yes.
Each one of them is an individual like me, like you, like my children, your children, and grandchildren. They are humans, just like us. 65,000 and more. Your record, Mr. Wyden, shows that you received in the past decade over $1 million from the Israeli lobby. No wonder you supported every resolution that went in favor of the government of Israel. You also blocked a resolution by Senator Merkley and Sanders to halt weapon shipments to Israel. These guns and bombs have killed over 20,000 children and continue to kill them as we are speaking right now.
Shame.
The bombs that you agreed to ship to Israel have destroyed 95 schools and buildings and infrastructure in Gaza. You claim that you are against the starvation of the people of Gaza. That's good. However, you cannot, with one hand, serve the starving population with bread, while with the other hand provide the lethal weapons that kill these children.
Just one question, please. Thank you.
I'm finished. Just let me say my last statement, please. I told you so. I'm not here today to rebuke you for your complicity in the genocide. I am here to urge you, yes, to beg you, to do all you can to stop the genocide and the starvation of the people of Gaza. Thank you so much.
Presentation, very factual. I am concerned about some of the items that were not brought up, and I don't believe you did it intentionally, but for example, the hostage situation remains to be hugely critical, and Hamas is still a threat to take.
Thousands of Palestinian hostages are being kept by Israel.
Everyone, please. Everyone, please.
One other point that I make, which I suspect my friend agrees with, is the situation now in the West Bank is getting to be as serious as Gaza. And we're all going to need to work together, which I'm one of the reasons why I want a new prime minister, is because I don't think Netanyahu will do anything about the West Bank. So there are a number.
That answer's not good enough.
He's not killing them by himself.
A number of areas that we agree on, and I appreciate your point. Just so we're clear on it, if we're going to stop the campaign spending, we have to end Citizens United. The Supreme Court.
Stop sending them bombs.
Everyone, if we would like to get to the next question.
We're going to get to the next question. I want to thank the gentleman for his thoughtful points, and I agree with most of them. I appreciate it.
Next question is number 534. Here. And 737 and 614 are on deck.
534.
534.
Senator Wyden, thank you for your service. I'm not here to talk about Gaza. That's a place far away, and most important is what happens here. I'm concerned about the elections in this country by people who come to this country and talk about killers from Gaza. They're the ones who started the war, and they're not happy.
Bullshit.
Shut up.
Bullshit.
But Senator Wyden, it's the election that I'm concerned about. We have midterms elections that are coming up. We have a government that seems to be promising to falsify our elections, to take any chance not to have a fair and legitimate election. And I know you're only one senator of 50, and it seems to be that there seems to be quite a distinction between people who take a reasonable approach and recognize elections and people who don't seem to think they're that important. But I think it's important. And I hope everyone remembers that most of us here are Americans. We're United States citizens. We're people who recognize democracy. And I think it's important that we do whatever we can to protect our election. That's all I would say.
3 cheers. 3 cheers for you, and at the first chance I get, I'm going to pull out all the stops to pass my legislation all across the country. It's particularly urgent that we work on this issue now because Donald Trump seems to take his political advice from Vladimir Putin. Because Vladimir Putin told him that he ought to get rid of vote by mail. It's a preposterous idea. Trump should have said, "Nyet." And he basically said, okay. And, you know, Trump is adopting a whole lot of policies that we need to talk about. On this vaccine issue, over the last couple of days, he told women to tough it out because he doesn't agree with the Tylenol position. That's wrong, and women are going to suffer.
Question number 737, 614, and 527.
Hi. Hello. My name is Krista Niddle. There are at least 7 federal laws that forbid giving military aid to a country that seriously violates human rights. The Leahy Law is one of those. Another one is the Foreign Assistance Act. It prohibits sending arms to a country that blocks humanitarian aid. These laws are being broken when the U.S. provides weapons to Israel, an apartheid state committing genocide. Many of us have implored you repeatedly to follow these important laws that protect children and other innocent civilians. Please give us a specific answer about how you will be accountable to these American laws. Will you stop voting for military aid to Israel because this breaks the law?
I will always, for ways to secure peace. For example, I said that I'm for a 2-state solution. I'm for a Palestinian state. My colleague has proposed that. Well, here's what the challenge is. Not just Hamas opposes it, not just Netanyahu opposes it, but there are a lot of people in the region who are opposed to it. So what we've got to do, and there's so much energy in this room.
Please answer the question.
Answer the question.
I'm doing my
Everyone, please let the senator answer the question.
Answer the question.
My best is, I'm going to support every single thing that advances the peace process, and the best thing to do is to make sure that there are penalties if you interfere with the aid process. That'll send a real message.
Our next questions, and folks, we need to acknowledge the fact that people are here to discuss many issues, and in order for us to be able to do that, we have to keep moving through the questions and according to our ground rules for this event. 614 is our next question, 527, and then 624. See 614. 527, 624, and 704 are the next 3. Hello, 614.
My name is Larry Thorpe, and I want to know, do you have a plan and approach to protect Social Security and Medicare?
Do I have a plan to protect Social Security and Medicare? I do. I'm the ranking Democrat on the Finance Committee, and I used some of it last Thursday. You may have heard that Trump's new Social Commissioner said that he was going to pursue cutting retirement benefits by raising the retirement age. That would be a real hardship for people. I announced that I was against it. Within 3 hours, they redrew it. They took it out, and they said, we're not going to start messing with the Senate Finance Committee. So that is, I believe that billionaires ought to start paying into Social Security. Billionaires today not only can avoid paying into Social Security, but can avoid paying taxes almost altogether for years on end. They need to use only 3 words: buy, borrow, and die. If they do those 3 things, they can buy 15 buildings, for example, do nothing with them, go to the bank and say, give me a loan for my lifestyle. They get a loan for their lifestyle, and they continue it until they pass away, and then they get the capital gains tax break. I'm going to take away, buy, borrow, and die, so billionaires have to start paying like everybody else in the Social Security. The gentleman's answer is so important. I'm looking out, and by the way, on Gaza, you all are making very fair points. We're having a good debate on this, and Social Security is part of a good debate because there's a connective tissue between young people and senior citizens. And I want seniors to be able to get those benefits and not lose them because Donald Trump wants to take away money so he can give it to the billionaires. That's what I'm committed to doing.
Checking, check, okay.
527, 624, and 704. 527. Sorry about that. Figured out. Thanks, everybody.
Okay. South Africa was an apartheid racist state where white settlers were given civil and political rights that the indigenous black people were denied. And the solution to that situation was not a two-state solution, but a single state where everybody had equal rights. Today, Israel is a racist apartheid state, where settlers are given civil and political rights denied to the indigenous Palestinian people.
That's right.
So my question is, why should we tolerate a two-state solution where an apartheid state is allowed to continue to deny those rights to the indigenous people that live there?
Well, a couple of points. I don't want to lose you, sir, if you're going into the aisle. I think it may end up being smarter to have one state. But I think we also ought to recognize that as much as I disagree with Benjamin Netanyahu and I've called for his replacement, there are civil rights like gay rights and the like in Israel that are almost unparalleled in the world.
Liar!
I will.
Liar!
I will.
Not true!
I will look and would be glad to work with you on the possibility that perhaps a one-state solution is better. I wouldn't take it off the table at all.
624-704 and 469. 624-704-469.
If you have one of those numbers, please stand up. There's one here. So which number do you have?
Repeat it.
469.
469, yes. Thank you.
What response are you seeing to the bombing of the Hamas representatives in Doha? It seems to me that this violation of the sovereignty of the country is outrageous, something that should be rebuked and sanctions followed.
I think I'm on the intelligence committee, so there's a couple of things I can't talk about, but I've seen opposition from the Israeli generals to that, and that ought to make it clear to Netanyahu it's a mistake.
Some mistakes. A lot of people got
That's it?
520 and 696. 658, 520 and 696. 520 over here. Great, thank you.
Hello, I'm Melissa Urcioli.
There you are.
And it's a change of subject. Today I was aware that our tax money would be going to Argentina possibly to bail out Argentina, and services are being cut, Medicaid here for people, and it's just very troubling.
I'm going to oppose that bailout to Argentina. They're just not working in line with our values. I know why Trump is doing it, because Trump sees this as something that he can pull into his orbit. I'm opposed.
658, 696.
696.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Senator Wyden. I just want to thank you for hosting this in my school. I appreciate it. So through pro-Israel lobbies, you've taken close to $1.2 million and there's no other foreign government that would come near that amount of funding. And my question for you is, what makes Israel such a major lobbyist for you and other politicians? What makes them such a great ally to justify their lobbying and influence over our politics?
Well, first of all, there is no specific Israeli pact that is like
AIPAC!
Folks, when you look at it, there is no pact including AIPAC. Obviously, everybody participates in a broken down mess of a political system. And for your generation, I want a different system. And that's why I want to get rid of big money and Citizens United. And if we do it, we will have, folks, I believe I'm the only one in America today having a town hall meeting like this. I know of no other that is open to all and basically says, I'm going to be there to listen to you. For example, Republicans have been told not to have any town hall meetings at all by their leadership. So I want a different system for your generation, and changing that law is what will do it, and I'm committed to getting it.
Number 658, and then 588, 466. And 541. 588, 466, and 541.
And 588.
588.
Thank you for your service.
Senator Wyden, and thank you for being here today. My question is about cancer research. One of the most dispiriting and disappointing budget cuts by this administration has been to the funding of research on cancer. And I'm wondering what, if anything, you can do about that.
I've stayed on the budget committee for one reason, and that is because I think we've got to step up our Trump has been doing, you've probably seen it. They're emptying DC from all of the National Science Foundation and NIH and the like. They're emptying the talent. Robert Kennedy took all the qualified people off the boards that review vaccines and the like and put in all these ideologues. And I want everybody to understand, you may have seen the hearing when he came to the Finance Committee. I think Robert Kennedy needs to be replaced, and it needs to be the reason our speaker's point is so important, and we've seen it in some other ones, this is about choices. And Trump wants to help the billionaires. I'm talking about saying the fight against cancer is more important. It's a choice. We'll have a chance to make it. We don't talk politics at these town hall meetings. I heard a rumor there's an election coming up and people have a chance to make their choices.
Number 658, number 466, and number 541.
Back up here.
658.
You're in the bleachers back there.
Hello, Senator. Thank you very much. My name is Carl here. I appreciate your efforts and your integrity. My question is about the upcoming budget negotiations.
The upcoming
budget negotiations.
Yes, very important.
I should say the ongoing budget negotiations and the strategy for them. I understand that sadly the whole process is path dependent, and well, the best we can hope for is a not very good compromise. So be it. But my question is, can we strategically take this opportunity to raise very clear, strong democratic policy points and demand them? We won't get them, but can we articulate them and make it clear to the American voters who are not necessarily as tuned in as the rest of us what the party stands for? I'm talking about cancer research and cutting ice and all of the outrages that we hear about every day. This is our chance, I think, to raise a strong voice. Thank you.
Thank you for bringing it up, and I'm getting asked about it at every stop at home. First of all, I think the fact that Jerome Powell, the head of the Federal Reserve, keeps cutting interest rates and has made it clear he may have to do it again is a signal that the economy is very, very fragile right now. So your point is a good one, and let me give you some examples that I'm trying to focus on. First is people of modest means, targeting aid to them. You may have seen in the Oregonian that a third of the people of Oregon do not have $400 in order to pay for an emergency. That is unacceptable in America, and I want to change. That's number one. Number two, and healthcare is really my specialty. I was director of the senior citizens for about 7 years. Some of you may know that, the Great Panthers. And healthcare to me is always the most important issue. I'm for universal coverage. There's a big group at the state level that's working on trying to put together a universal coverage plan. And Lisa Rockauer in my office, we're working on it. I'm going to get there, and I'm going to be for it. It's a good idea. An immediate issue, for the gentleman's good point, is health insurance premiums. Trump basically is trying to pretend that he's not jacking up health insurance premiums. He's dancing around the tax credits. Most people don't really know what a tax credit is, but it's a path, if you get rid of it, it's a path to higher premiums. And I think people are going to be stunned here in a couple of weeks when they get their October premiums about their bills doubling. So I want to hit that issue. So we have healthcare, people of modest means, and science. And by the way, we can do philanthropy in addition to government. You know, Phil Knight helped the Oregon Health Sciences Center. Let's ask other people who are well off to chip in. It's time they stepped up.
466 541, and then 595 644 and 634. 466.
Hi, Senator Wyden. I'm Rick Staggenborg, and I'm going to resist the temptation to explain to the audience how APAC funnels millions of dollars to influence elections. Not a PAC, they're a nonprofit, got it. But my real question is, since you're obviously such a big friend of Israel, why are you letting them destroy themselves? They're destroying their economy, they're destroying their society, they're destroying a young generation of Israelis who are brought up to believe every Palestinian is a terrorist.
Right.
So, you know as well as I do, it's been pointed out several times here, you've got to get rid of the weapons that are enabling them to carry out this genocide. Stay on the bar. You have the chance to vote for more than this. Don't tell us you're doing everything you can. It's a lie.
So, first of all, I agree with your first point with respect to Israel being hurt by these policies. You're correct. I believe those policies will change. No matter what happens on a vote on weapons or anything, they will not change until Netanyahu is gone. Folks,
what are you going to do to him?
I'd like you to be respectful to the speaker. It has nothing to do with me. He's right. And I'm going to make another point on this. If we don't have a replacement for Netanyahu, I don't believe the weapons are going to resolve anything. To change Israel, which you eloquently talk about, that's what you got to do. One other point. I'm a Jew. I'm a first-generation Jew. I was never raised to hate Palestinians.
Number 595 and number 644 and then 631. 595, 644 and 631. Any of those numbers? No one with our area code, I believe. 488. 488.
See, you get your turn. There you go. They're excited. 488, right here. I've got 488.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You were elected in Oregon to represent Oregonians, not to represent the state of Israel. That's it.
So, the gentleman important point is who do you represent? And I made the point that nowhere in America today, and I checked, is there an open to everybody meeting with a United States Senator so that you can hold them accountable. Senator Merkley's name was mentioned. To Jeff Merkley's great credit, I was in office and he ran and he said, I'm going to do it like Ron's doing it. So he has plenty of it and deserves credit on it. But the point of who do you represent? You know, my wife has said repeatedly, dear, I'm not sure it's even safe for you to have a town meeting now. And I've said, I trust Oregonians. I trust Oregonians, and there has not been a bad comment in the House, including yours, and I'll match my record for standing up for Oregonians, whether it's healthcare costs, whether it's tax, whether it's information, whether it's education, with anybody. And, well, sometimes people disagree, and I understand that, and that's why I came here to learn. And many of the people who agree with your position have made good points tonight, and I've been taking notes so I can go after them.
644 and 631, 595, 644 and 631, and then 619, 701, and 627. See a hand, two hands over on this side. One in front and one behind.
701.
Thank you.
631.
Thank you, Senator Wyden, for being here and taking my question. My name is Jim Evangelista. In Oregon, the medical negligence law is a 5-year sour, and you as a champion of health care should know that. My question is, I'm a survivor of medical negligence. I've worked with Senator James Manning with his help to try and get legislation passed through the legislature here. I'm continuing to do that. I'm asking that a very simple change in the parity from the 5-year medical negligence to have the same parity with product liability, with legal malpractice, with construction negligence, the same, are all 10-year sour. Why is it that we are becoming a class unto ourselves and we are being denied our constitutional right to remedy? I'm asking you, please, Senator, can you support the change from the medical negligence law 5-year sour to a 10-year sour?
You're making a very good point, and I just want to ask a question or two so everybody understands it. Are you talking about a federal statute on negligence? Because I have authority over that on the Finance Committee, or are you talking about working with James at the state level?
I've been working closely with James and others.
I'll join you. I'll join you.
I would be so grateful.
I'm glad to join you.
God bless you. It is a struggle, and it's been so impactful on my life, and I know other Oregonians are suffering the same way, and to learn that we don't have our rights, that it's so hard and traumatic to be in this position, and then to learn that you don't have a right to gain access and remedy to when you've been wronged and harmed.
Well, and you have a right to not be part of a 2-tier medical system today, because the billionaires and the well-to-do have concierge medicine.
This is Eric.
You ought to have some rights too.
Thank
I think James Manning may be floating around. We got a chance to start talking about it, okay? James is in the front row. Thank you for speaking up.
Stand up, even though I told everyone they
Let's hear it for James Manning. When you're with Senator Manning on an important bill for citizens' rights, as my mom would say, you're running with the right crowd.
It's 631. 619. It's 619, thank you.
619.
Hello, Senator Ron Wyden. My name is Quinn, and I am here representing not only the American Communist Party, but I'm also representing the working class of... I am representing not only the American Communist Party, but I'm also representing the working class of Oregonians. Since October 7, 2023, the United States government has given the Israeli regime $17.2 billion in aid. This not only goes to their military spending, but it also goes to their pensions and universal health care. You have voted every time in favor of funding and arming Israel while they are actively committing a genocide of the Palestinian people. During our time, Oregon's homelessness has increased by 60% since 2023, and there are 224,000 Oregonians since 2023 that have been let go of their health care benefits. Literally last week, a man in Portland died by running over a pothole. Maybe you would see these social issues if you actually lived in this state and not in New York. You just don't promoting progressive values, but your voting record in arming Israel and foreign policy is anything but progressive. Supporting a genocidal right-wing regime is anything but progressive. I call on you to disband from taking any money from AIPAC and start focusing on issues here in America, issues here at home, issues that Oregonians can be impacted by. There is no reason why we should have this disparity in the wealth inequality in America. There's no reason why why veterans should be sleeping underneath bridges. You need to commit to stop sending funds to foreign wars and start focusing on issues in America. Thank you.
This idea that I live somewhere else is preposterous. You can drive by my house in southeast Portland any old day.
Which house?
The neighbors are always there.
Where's your wife and children?
What I've done 1,135 times, which you certainly couldn't do if you live somewhere other than Oregon, is be accessible to everybody. That's what I'll keep doing. And he's making a good point on housing, and we're going to follow that up.
Number 644, number 627, and then 631, 726. There we go. Which of those numbers? 631. Thank you.
Okay. Hi. Thanks for being here. This is really cool to get a chance to talk to you. My name is Michelle Canelli-Lahua Marcinet. I'm a resident here in Lane County, and I'm a peace activist. And right now I'm really busy because we have a lot of things going on, and I mostly support Veterans for Peace, and so I support our veterans. I have so much to talk to you about because there are so many issues happening. I could come up and ask about how you might help us protect our veterans from being deported into some unknown place by ICE. I could ask you about veterans who are sleeping on the streets. I can ask you about a lot of things, but the project that I work for Veterans for Peace is called the Golden Rule. And so I'd just like a few minutes to talk to you about the Golden Rule. And that's not he who has the money makes the rule. It's the rule where we just make up rules out wherever we want to get what we want. That's not what we do. And right now we have a boatload of veterans heading towards Gaza. It's not even that I want to talk to you about today. Again, it's just this huge pile of things that all of our peace activists are spread out everywhere. And we're spending so much energy trying to bring attention to a whole list of things. And I mean, this is just one little piece of the world with so many problems. I understand they're all piling up on your plate. But at a bigger level, internationally, the United Nations back in 2017 said we want to make nuclear weapons illegal. And they did that. And so my job is to go from port to port on this little boat called the Golden Rule that 4 Quakers tried to sail into the Marshall Islands in 1958, protesting U.S. military testing the atomic bomb. They ended up dropping at least 67. And you want to talk about cancer rates? You want to talk about what's happening in our environment?
Please ask your question.
Thank you. Do you support the treaty prohibiting nuclear weapons by the UN? And is that something that you and I could work on together in the future?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I do, but I want to check it. I think a number of my colleagues in the Senate are already on it. And let me just do some quick due diligence, but I'm pretty sure it's in, and I'm supportive of it. But give us a number and we'll check it out and be back at you next couple of days.
Number 595, 644, 727. Last call is number 726. And number 645. And number 592. And after that, 569.
I have 726.
Please mention ice. It's the worst.
I agree with the gentleman. Abolish ICE. I didn't really come prepared, but I have noticed that you're not answering the questions. Senator Ron Wyden. You're avoiding, you're evading, you're not answering the questions. Why did you vote no to block Senate Resolution 34, which would have blocked 1,000-pound bombs and joint direct attack munition guidance kits? You voted against Senate Resolution 41, which would have blocked the delivery of 20,000 fully automatic assault rifles. You have lots of words that you say to us, and lots of platitudes, but your voting record is to bomb